I got a prescription, yeah, for this love pain. Anybody got a pill like a pop for this love pain? Anybody got a prayer like a session for this love pain? Yeah, ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription, yeah, for this love pain? Anybody got a pill like a pop for this love pain? Anybody got a prayer like a session for this love pain? Yeah, ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription?
Hello. Hi, this is Vivian. This is the Successful Mind Power Hour or Power 15 minutes or Power 20 minutes, however long I'm going to talk, but there you go. I call it the Power Hour because it just sounds good, right? But yeah, I'm just a little bit reflective today. So if you see a little crusty stuff out of my eyes, there's a reason for it. But good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Everything's gonna be all right. Yes, it is. Especially today. Yes, it is. So yeah, today is just it's a day of reflection, and I know it's afternoon. Well, it's afternoon where I am. I don't know where you are. So whatever time of day it is, yes, I know. I'm supposed to be on here at 11:30, but I was on my flight school this morning, and it didn't end until 11:30. So yeah. And I had some other things to do. So here I am at noon. Well, it's afternoon actually, but there you go. This is, it's going to be on my Facebook page. So, if you're live, leave me some comments. Let me know that you're live. If you're doing this on the replay, #replay. Hey, Viv, how you doing? So I want to talk. It's just a reflective day. Because this morning on this flight school, our CEO, Mr. Bugs, gave some training, just kind of like did something to me. Yes, it was training that I probably heard before, but I didn't hear. You know what I mean? Sometimes you hear something and you don't really hear it. So because you're so focused on how to do something versus connecting the dots. So he gave a short training on connecting the dots. And so I had to ask myself a few questions, because what I realized was that I had the answer to all of those questions that I'd been asking in front of me the whole time. And I just wasn't aware of how to connect the dots, or I had the dots. They were around. I'd seen them, but I wasn't connecting them. I wasn't like pulling from one letter to another. I don't know, how old you are or whatever, but I'm 60, so I remember these things. Drawing by numbers. And so whenever you drew by numbers, there was a picture that came out. And he gave this analogy this morning. When you connect the numbers, you came out with a picture. There was a picture that came out when you connected the dots or connected the numbers. And that's the same thing with life, with lessons that you learn in life, in business, and all of this. And so it just made it was like this light bulb went ping, 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 ping. Because I can tell you that I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of notes. And I've read them over and over again, thinking, I must have missed something. I just, there's something I had to have missed because I don't know that I'm getting this. And there's something else I need to do. And I kept putting stuff on my plate, something else I needed to do. Really wasn't. It was a very simple process that had been in front of my eyes this whole time. Right? And so, you go through these emotional roller coasters when that happens, when that light bulb goes off and that oh my God, I can't believe I missed that moment, So when you get that moment and you're like, I can't believe I missed that. It was like right there in front of me this whole time, and I missed it. Have you ever had that? Because yeah. and this morning when he was explaining it, it was so simple and so clear that I just broke down and cried. It's like I've wasted like tons of time doing all this other stuff when it was right there. And not that I hadn't heard it before. And I think sometimes you go back to what Bob Proctor says. You can read something over and you can hear something over and over and over again. And until your perception changes, you're not going to hear it. You're not going to get it. And if you're struggling with something and you've written down notes and notes and you've read books and books and books and you've done all this stuff, go back with a different mindset. And that's why they say that almost everything is about mindset. Your mindset is what's going to help you absorb knowledge. It's what's going to help you to change things in your life that aren't working. Your mindset is the key to pretty much everything. If you're walking around thinking you can't do it, then you can't. That old saying, if you think you can't, you can't. But if you think you can, you can. Because it's all about mindset. And I figured out that all the struggling that I was doing and trying to find the answer to some challenges that I was having, and I just did not see my way clear to finding the answer. And I know it's here someplace. I'm just, it's right there. I'm pretty sure. I just don't know where it is. Because I kept looking and I kept looking. And no matter how many books I read, no matter how many apps I downloaded, how many gurus I listened to, the answer just wasn't there. And so I prayed. And here's another thing. Don't get away from whatever you believe in. Meditation, prayer, pretty much the same thing. But don't get away from that. Because here's what happens. If you get away from it, you don't do it regularly like you normally would, other things start falling down in your life because now you've let go of that routine or that habit that was pushing you forward or opening your mind to things. And when I realized that, I prayed and I said, God, I'm doing all this work and I feel like I'm wearing myself out. Can you help me? And remember I told you guys about Napoleon Hill's The Strangest Secret, where he instructs you to write your goal down on a card, and on the front of the card, and on the back of the card, you write ask. So the acronym ask. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open unto you. So I asked. Is it God, I need a simple explanation, because what I'm reading, what I'm doing and all this kind of stuff, it's not making sense to me because I'm not getting the results that I want. Please help me. And so when I just let it go in his hands, instead of trying to fix it myself, guess what? The answer was brought to me today. And it was like, like, what? It was there all along? Oh my God. And so sometimes, even though the answer may be right in front of your face, you're not able to connect the dots because you haven't asked. I know society these days says, in order to be positive, you cannot even mention, or at least that's the idea that they're trying to give you, is that don't say anything negative. Well, their idea of negative is acknowledging what's wrong. You have to acknowledge what's wrong in order to fix it. You can't fix anything. If you don't know your path, if you don't know what's wrong, how are you going to fix it? Right? So ask. You ask God, you ask your mentor, you ask a coach, you ask whoever you have to ask, but ask so that you can connect the dots. The answers were complicated to me. I had asked questions, but I didn't get clarity. And see, that's the thing. It's like you don't ask a question and then you get an answer and you still don't understand. Don't stop asking questions until you get to the clarity that you need. I think one of the things that happened for me is that I was almost literally afraid to ask deeper questions to get to the answer that I needed. Everybody doesn't learn at the same level the same things. Like technology is pretty hard for a lot of people. They like, I just don't get it. I don't get what you're talking about. But until you break it down to their language, I don't mean like Spanish and English. I don't mean that language. The language that they speak on. Good evening. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name because I will mess it up. But if you break it down to their level of understanding, that's when they get it. Right? Because in my industry, there are a lot of people that have been in the industry for years and years and years. And so they understand the terminology. But somebody that hasn't been in the industry, they don't understand that terminology. So you have to kind of break it down into their language, into what they understand. So yes, eventually they are going to get the terminology the longer they're there. But for them to connect the dots, you have to make the dots a little clearer. And that's exactly what he did this morning. He broke it down to the simplest, most minute, the clearest example that I have ever seen in this whole time. I mean, it was just mind blowing. And it could have been someplace else. I just never got to it or whatever it was. But that's the way that if you don't understand something, you have to ask somebody to break it down to your level. So if they give you an answer and you still don't understand, it's like, well, okay, here's what I think you said, but I'm not really understanding what you're saying. And don't be afraid to say you don't understand. You don't understand, you don't understand. I'm sorry, but I don't get what you're saying. Can you explain that further? And then just keep asking until they explain it in a way that you can understand it. And for me, that's the mistake that I made, is that I just accepted the answer that they gave, even though I was still confused. Okay. And this morning he even asked, it's like, are you confused? But at that time, by the time he broke that down to like baby level, I was like, I'm not confused anymore. I know exactly what I need to do. And that just made things, I had this sigh of relief, so to speak. And I don't know, have you ever had a moment like that? You know, where all of a sudden things are so clear, you just, I can breathe. You know, like that movie Waiting to Exhale. I just exhaled this morning. It was like, oh my God, really, Vivian? Really? You've been doing this stuff all this time. And yeah, there you go. So I don't know. Try to connect the dots. And the dots for you may be different than the dots for me. I mean, the dots are the dots, you know, the picture is still the same, but how you connect them and how I connect them may be different. So ask for clarity. Get clear on what you need. First of all, get clear on what you want, right? Then get clear on what you need to get there. Find the person that can explain it to you in your language. How you speak, how you learn. Because this morning was how I learned, how I speak. And just think about it. It's step by step. One step, one foot in front of the other. You're not running yet. You're still a baby. You just got up from crawling. Step by step. And if you make mistakes, admit your mistakes, then fix them. Or just move on and don't make those same mistakes again. Learn from them, don't make them again. And I'm going to leave you with this statement, what Mr. Wimbrey said this morning. Don't beat yourself up because you feel you're not putting in enough time. Because all you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough. What? Yes. Because, you know, society will try to make you feel as if you're not working 24/7 around the clock, you're not doing enough. But that's bull hockey, and you don't need to listen to that. Your time, if you got 2 hours a day, as he said, okay, make those 2 hours a day count. But that's your 2 hours a day. You don't have to do like everybody else. And that's also a mistake that I made in my life. Is like I felt like I needed to be at this 8 hours a day because I had the time. No, I was stressing myself out. And you know I'm just kind of being a little bit open. You know, you do what you do, but I was stressing myself out for no reason. There was no reason for that. I do me. You know, yes, the steps that I was taking wasn't the right steps. And did I have some success? Yes, but not the success I could have had I connected the dots earlier. But am I going to beat myself up about it? No. I'm just happy that I can connect the dots. And that's the same thing with you. If you didn't connect the dots early in your career or your life or whatever it is, it's okay. Just start where you are and just move forward. Start right now and just move forward. And that's how you can connect your dots. But make sure you get clarity on which dots to connect and where to go to the next dot so you can get the right picture. Because as they say, you don't get what you want, you get what you picture. Picture it, be there, hang out there, plan the party. I mean, all of that. Connect the dots and don't beat yourself up because you only have a few hours a day to spend on your business. So what? That's you. All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. So I'm going to leave you with that and just ask you or invite you. Let me say it that way. I'm going to invite you to come and hear an opportunity this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to put the banner up and hold on. And you guys, you have an opportunity to come this evening at 7 p.m. Or if another time works for you, just hit me up in my DMs. DM meaning direct message or messenger or, Facebook message. And let me know. Say, look, I'm interested in the business. Can we talk? Hey, we can talk any time of day. Well, not any time of day because I do have other appointments. But, just let me know. We'll set an appointment. We'll talk. It's all good. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And again, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I can't help you with your being lonely. I'm so sorry. Not my deal, but I can say hi to you. How you doing? But I do have other things to do. But I hope you find someone that you can have a conversation with and, whatever, cure your loneliness, whatever that is. And I hope this conversation has helped you a bit. And so I am going to leave you guys now, and I wish you all the success in the world and the best in the world. And I wish you peace. I wish you love, and I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.